anyways, at kanina ibinahagi nga sa atin ng ating mga guests na si Nell, Darl, and Cheska. Ayan. So, iba yung tinignan ko. So, tinitignan ko lang if they're still paying attention. Wow! But anyway, so guys, thank you so much again for sharing your experiences and ano yung alam nyo about pop culture. So now, let's get into the meat of the discussion. So, we've talked about possible effects sa inyo of pop culture. But do you think that at some point, there is a way na pop culture affects the way Gen Zs are taking their emotional or mental health? Or is there also a way na parang they shift their narrative of how they want to be perceived by other generations because of pop culture? Siguro, balik mo na ako kay Nell.
Trish, up there pag halimbawa yung mga idol nila or mga celebrity nababash, parang affected din sila doon sa pinagdadaanan nung ina-idol nila. I don't know how it's idol ang tawag ngayon. Parang 90s pa yata yung idol. Hala, lumalabas yung mga idol ko yan. Pero yung ano nila, yung reaction din nila, parang nadulungkot sila. Bakit ganito? Bakit yung ginaganito yung mga idols namin? So, emotionally, so it affects them. Yeah. So, yun yung medyo na negative na effect nun in terms of mental and emotional sa mga young generation.
So when we talk about parang kumbaga shifting of perspective naman or the way how the Gen Zs perceive themselves or how they want to be expressed, how they want to express themselves, do you think pop culture also has a touch onto it? For example, yung mga Swifties, di ba? Kapag binash mo si Taylor Swift, lumalabas lahat ng mga underlying social issues like feminism, the way they feel about the social issues. How do you think parang Gen Zs are getting triggered? Let's use that word, no? Triggered by pop culture.
Naku, grabe yung kanilang trigger. Sabi nila, huwag mo ko trigger So talagang, lalo na ngayon, yung meron silang avenue to express their thoughts and paano nila ididepensa ang kanilang mga idols or mga, like for example, mga Swifties, no? We have the Twitter or the X, we have the Facebook. So, mas lumawak yung kanilang avenue para mas mabigyan nila ng pagtatanggol yung kanilang mga idols para sa mga celebrities.
Right. So, balikan kita, Nel, no? So, I wanna go back to you guys, so Darl and Cheska. In terms of behavioral or psychological effects of pop culture, have you seen a first-hand experience from your friends na they shifted the way they behave or interacted with people because they followed so much, for example, Taylor Swift or for example, K-pop idols, like iba yung standards or whatever? Kayo, Cheska.
Yes. Actually, ako po, ganun ako. Hindi, I changed my personality based on what content I'm consuming. Pero, yes, I can see that sa peer group ko, specifically. And sa generation namin, Gen Z are very vulnerable nga to the content that we are consuming since internet is our life. It's normal to us na mag-scroll every day. It's part of our daily lives na. So lahat ng nako-consume namin, we have this, we are very susceptible to integrate it sa daily lives namin. And pansin ko lang din on the K-pop side, since I'm part of the community, we have this phenomenon called parasocial relationships, wherein yung mga K-pop stans, since yung pag-market kasi sa K-pop idols, very relatable sila, they seem attainable to the fans, na parang I can form a relationship with him in my head. So, in a way, parang are you really a K-pop fan if you're not delusional? Ayun. So parang may form of delusion na
boyfriend ko si ganito.
Yes, like me, boyfriend ko si Jenna Lee. Ayun, pero yun nga, yung kagaya nga nang na-mention earlier na sa mga nakakonsume din kasi na Wattpad, fan fiction, alternative universe, it changes the way it changes the perception and the thinking and behavior of my fellow K-pop stans. But not all. Huwag na kayo cancel.
Yung iba naman, parang...
yung iba lang.
Yung iba lang. But name drop. Way, joke.
Majority of us, huwag kayong mag-deny. Lahat
Oo.
tayo dalulu.
So,
Ayun.
comment na lang po sa mga hindi nag-agree sa akin. Joke lang.
Hashtag na lang.
Yes. Oh, DM na lang, guys. But anyway, thanks, no, Cheska. And I think it's also important to note na itong mga phenomenons na nangyayari sa inyo, it's largely because of how pop culture is being marketed, diba?
Yes,
It's
I agree.
targeting a specific idea. For example, like how relatability means also loss of boundaries for the idols, diba? It could also be like, or also it could be divisive kasi kapag iba kayo ng stan or iba yung perception mo dun sa stan ng isa, parang hindi naman yun pogi,
Nagka-clash.
diba?
I agree.
Nagka-clash, no? So, different opinions on regarding pop culture, at least who do you idolize is also something na hindi naman siguro parasitic, no? Or maybe you can prove me wrong, no, Nel? Ikaw naman, Darl, in terms of music, syempre iba rin yung parang perception ng Gen Zs doon when it comes to pop culture and how it affects them. Pero ikaw personally, do you notice your friends or having a different kind of relationship with other people because of what you consume in pop culture?
Like what was mentioned earlier about parasocial relationships.
So that's also, it's
Yes,
also something
very
you
much
notice.
existent like sa indie music scene. There are so many people na may madidiscover silang certain band and then they start acting a different way, ganon. So I think it's kind of the same, no? Kasi parang you start to identify with who you listen to, who you idolize, kasi literal like idol mo in a way. Like pagka you identify so much with the music, for example, like we mentioned kanina si Taylor Swift. So
Yeah.
there are lots of Swifties na grew up with her, tapos every heartbreak niya, baka nakipag-break din sila or something. So they,
Naging kwento din nila yun.
So they feel a certain connection na parang she understands us, pero in reality, we're so far away from her and she doesn't know you exist. So I get it naman why people defend their idols. Syempre kasi, yun nga, you've been through a lot with them. Pero there's a limit din to your connection.
I love the self-awareness in this episode. It's giving, I know I'm the Lulu, but then I don't wanna admit it. I just know, but I don't wanna act on it.
Parang iba kasi din yung yung parang naibibigay na happiness ng
Correct.
pagiging fan, no?
Oo. Tsaka you kind of feel like you're heard or like someone's living their dream life.
Yes.
Like you're living your dream life through
Yes.
them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, I want to get back from emotional and mental and siguro psychological effect on Gen Zs. In terms of industries or societies, how do you think na parang pop culture has shaped the way things are now? Nel, ikaw?
Lalo na ngayon na parang, lalo na yung mga songs natin ngayon, yung mga styles natin ngayon, so nakadepende sa kung ano yung, ano ba yung hit, sabi mo kanina, yung parang ano ba yung
Hot topic
hot
right
topic na kung saan mas talked about ng mga Gen Z. Parang sila kasi medyo yung sa social media, very active sila doon, very engaged sa social media.
Right.
So parang itong mga industry natin, ito yung gusto ng market, the sir market. So ito yung i-shape up natin, ito yung ipoproduce natin.
Right.
Now we have, dati naman wala yung mga P-pop, no? Yung mga kaano natin.
Right.
We only have the boy bands,
The matinee idols.
yes. The matinee idols. Ngayon, ano bang tawag sa mga matinee idols ngayon?
Ang mga opa.
Opa!
Opa.
Korean pa rin,
Yes,
influence pa rin, no? So yun, nagkakaroon sila ng kailangang i-connect natin sa kung ano yung market ngayon. So I think in terms of the industry.
Right.
Oo.
Even like countries even begged Taylor Swift according to some media outlets no na parang to have a concert with them because it shapes the nation's budget for some reason for that month, diba? And I guess in some way Gen Zs are becoming a formidable force for customers for different markets. Skincare, aesthetic, everything,
Their
diba?
colors.
Yes, influencers all left and right, no? But then, now, let's shift naman, no, to, in connection to your pop culture and pop icons. So, ano sa tingin nyo naman yung possible effect? Ito, medyo haka-haka lang natin, di ba? I do know that there is already a course being made, or actually, if not being taught already, on Taylor Swift. Do you think it's something worth being explored into, or something na parang, ay, hindi, another effect lang siya of pop culture, kaya natin siya pinag-aaralan ngayon.
Kasi ito yung sa isang university, no, na mag-o-offer. I think nag-o-offer na I don't,
Yes,
I don't exactly. And parang kasi based on what I have read dun sa kanilang course syllabus or curriculum, parang they want to to enlighten. Ano ba yung bakit yung pagiging fandom ng mga Pinoy sa mga celebrities or mga idols nila? Bakit for example, I'm not a fan of Taylor Swift, but I appreciate the songs and ang ganda-ganda ni Taylor Swift. Parang ganun. Pero for example, bakit sila nagkakandara pa dun sa magagastos sila ng thousands of money to for a concert and nagpa-flight sila from one country to another? Yung question na ako, for example, bakit sila gumagastos ng ganung kalaki? So parang ang gusto ng course siguro, maintindihan yung relationship ng fan dun sa celebrity. Yun. So parang, kasi nga, tayo nga ay isang bansa na mahilig talaga tayong mag-idolize ng Western and Asian.
Yeah.
Actually, yung sinabi mo kanina about us trying to figure out why people, or specifically medyo Filipino craze naman talaga kasi yung nangyari kay Taylor Swift, no? Finding out why we're so obsessed over our pop culture icons. You really think na in terms of making a course out of it, is that something worth studying about? Nell, siguro, Darl and Cheska also. Tingin nyo ba? Is it a yes or a no?
For me, wala namang masama siguro. Kasi marami din naman mga Pinoy ang into, not necessarily Taylor Swift, no? So dahil nga yung culture natin is we are very fandom, no? Parang country na mahilig talaga na may mga fans ka o mga fans, no? Parang sa akin wala namang masama, no? Kaya nga lang we have to focus on what is really the main objective. It will help talaga na mawala yung stereotypes, mawala yung mga barriers and misconception about the pop culture. Kung mabibigay ito ng magandang impression, lalo na sa ating mga young generations, why not?
And it could also give them like a mental barrier of sorts to know if there is an overuse
Yes, we limit.
Yes, yes, no. So let's get to the next question, if ever, no. So this one I would direct to Darl and Cheska. Do you think na in our generation right now, there is an overuse in pop culture? Is it being, let's say, being weaponized to introduce a new idea? Tingin nyo ba that's something happening as a norm sa inyo?
I would agree na it is happening. Although baka hindi lang tayo aware na we have been victimized or we have experienced it firsthand. Pero I believe na kung gaano kasi ka-powerful yung social media ngayon, yung mga trends and using trends and also pop culture, hindi malayo na it can also be used to push for certain agendas. So
Right.
I believe na, I agree na it can be happening.
No, so ikaw naman, Darl, tingin mo ba, do you agree with what she says? Or do you feel na, no, I think we're just reading too much into it? Tingin mo ba?
It's probably not like yung pop culture itself kasi it's always gonna be there, no? It's what's popular, like the content itself. So, that depends talaga eh. Boring answer pero it depends on who views it. So for example, for the youth na very impressionable, it can be damaging, especially if it's too much. Parang you kind of get dictated like kung ano yung personality mo dapat, kung ano yung views mo dapat. But then for older people, we have more control over ourselves. So I would say na very possible actually, pero it's in the contents, in the meat, no?
Correct.
What's popular.
Kasi pop is popular culture. So where the masses go, that's where I guess where the money is, where the good ideas are, where everything is. But siguro now, let's focus on guardrails, di ba? So how do we equip ourselves o yung mga kabataan, yung mga schoolmates natin to be less susceptible, I guess? So we were talking about negative aspects kanina of pop culture. How do we monitor, sa tingin nyo, yung trends na nangyayari right now in mass culture so that we avoid getting influenced to the wrong side? So, siguro, Nell?
Siguro, Trisha, mahalaga pa rin yung... Kasi yung social media, talagang unfiltered yan. So anyone can be accessible to social media. Even the younger than this guest, no, our guest for today, na talagang meron silang accounts. No? Siguro mahalaga yung role ng mga adults. Mahalaga yung role ng mga parents. And also, as a teacher, to my students, no, ang hawak natin is mga minors, so mga bagets kung tawagin. No? Parang, we are here to educate them, to at least, sabi nga kanina, regulate, moderate the use of social media. And we should teach our students what to choose to watch or to engage with.
Yeah.
Like for example, lalo na sa social media, ang dami ng mga vloggers, influencers kung tawagin, di ba? The word influencers, so ibig sabihin, they have the power. They have all the access to influence the young generation. Siguro yung the guidance of the parents, the teachers, and the people around, makakatulong yon yung role ng mga magulang para magabayan ang kanilang mga anak sa paggamit, lalo-lalo ng social media.
Right. It goes two ways, no? Kasi even the parents also consume what's in pop culture. So it's very important na we safeguard ourselves by making us be more informed. Ano ba yung tama or mali, no? But then, sa inyo naman, Cheska and Darl, sa tingin nyo, as the consumers of this kind of culture, how do you regulate yourself? Or siguro call out another person na, hey, that's wrong. It doesn't mean that everyone's doing it. Doesn't mean it's right.
Tough question. Siguro, I touched some grass. I
love it. I touched some grass.
Time to touch some grass, guys. Ayun. Siguro, whenever I get too immersed sa content na kinokonsume ko na, napapansin ko na masyado na ako na-affect personally. Like, hindi naman ako yung kasama sa issue, pero bakit parang na-apektuhan ako.
Invested kasi.
Yeah, so invested. Ganon. So, siguro, the way I regulate myself personally, I stop from, bababa ko lang yung phone ko and literally just go outside, hang out with real life people in my life and, form real connection, genuine connection with them. And then kapag feel ko na sa tamang headspace na ako ulit to consume media, siguro dun na lang din ulit ako mag-scroll sa phone ko.
Kumbaga, no, parang shifting your perspective also, no? So, between reality and
Virtual,
digital.
yeah.
So, ikaw, Darl, how do you do it naman?
I remember nung pandemic, it was so difficult to self-regulate kasi there was nothing to do, no? Pero I've noticed now na we're outside again, na it's easier to regulate, especially since, like you said, na shift in perspective, no? So for example, napapansin mo na consume ka na lang ng consume, no? So what you like to consume, maybe you want to try creating. So for example, you like to see mga travel vlogs, ganon, or mga TikToks about different places, no? Why don't you go see the places?
Right.
Or create. Yun, for me, I love consuming music, pero I try my best to force myself even to make music din para lang to keep myself parang mentally healthy, ganon.
Correct.
Ayun. So, live life, actually.
Yeah.
I love it kasi that's something that we don't hear from others. Kumbaga tayo, as consumers, it's not top of our mind to create or to balance the majority, di ba? Parang it's also voicing out an unpopular opinion or to call out something is a way also to check and kumbaga balance the popular culture, di ba? So, guys, tutok lamang kayo dahil tuloy pa rin ang aming talakayan sa pagbabalik lamang ng Schoolmates!